Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. Guys, it didn't look like we were going to make it through 2021, but here we are on the last day of the year, man. Like I said, just when you thought we weren't going to come, maybe it's New Year's Eve, Barry will be doing something else. Nah, son, come on. You think we're really going to give up a day of this Talk That Talk show? Like I said, this show means too much to me, and for all the other people out there that it means something to, you're the reason why we are here on New Year's Eve, come with another episode. My boy Al says, Talk That Talk Show New Year's Eve special. And I wouldn't want to have it any other way, Al. Like I said, it's been a great week, but most importantly, it's been a very good year. I feel like, with all the things that have gone on with the uncertainty with COVID and, just with me trying to get out of, the whole unemployment at the beginning of the year and, just life's perils and, life's things that they throw at you. I've really just tried to put my best foot forward and, be the best version of myself each and every day. And I feel like, with the progress of this show to where, we've had different people, that I've seen rocking the merch out and, people that are, promoting us and telling people to go to the website. Like Heem said, it's all about the positive vibes. And, those positive vibes are something that aren't just given, they're earned, and I think that through the dedication of coming here each and every week, through me being vulnerable with you guys and showing you just who I am each and every week and, just trying to give the best content possible. I think that, that's what Talk That Talk Show is all about. And, even from the point of us making merchandise to help my friend out, to the point of using our platform for, much bigger and better things. I think that all comes together and it, hasn't started from just episode one. It's been something that we've continuously built and have been deeply rooted with. And even somebody with the diversity to where, we had, maybe in the past year or so, we had the mayor on, but then you can have somebody like Fat Poppy here on here. I think that a big question I always get is that, what is your show about? Or, what do you talk about on the show? And I know Seinfeld says it's a show about nothing, but, I truly believe this is a show about anything. I think anytime you come here on a Friday night, you never know what you're going to get, who I'm going to bring here on the show, and, just what I might be feeling that day. And I think that, before I get into, who I have as a nice special guest here on the show, I want to bring it back to yesterday to where, we were in league and something had told me, I was like, yo, let me call up my boy Walter real quick. Let me call him up. And I call up Walter, who's on my team. Come to find out, he goes, I don't know, man. We might have to, forfeit or post bowl. We got two people that aren't going to be able to bowl. And I'm like, damn, man, why you just tell me shit now? Why I got to call you to tell you this, So I just decided, to step up, get two subs of my own. And shout out to Vinny Booker. Shout out to my dad who came out and subbed for us. But, it was tough because the very first game that we bowled, we got smoked by like 120 pins, man. And, there's no worse feeling than that other than maybe getting thirsted in Call of Duty. But, it was a tough feeling to be down by that many pins. But, I'd said that, in the second and third game, we wanted to come very different. And what happened was we wound up being down by like 60-something sticks, in the 9th and 10th frame. And we just gutted it out, man. Everybody just clutched it, had a couple big strikes, struck out. And I said to my whole team there, I was like, dude, that was a character win, man. And then to come in the third game, win again, it was huge, bro. We didn't win everything, but I think the big thing was we proved to a lot of our people out there in our league, and we also proved to ourselves that, never say die. I think that so often when you're getting smoked like that, it's so easy to just roll over and let them get you. But, I think that, through that game, we showed that, hey, we're going to keep fighting. Even though we didn't get the desired outcome of the total win that we wanted, we lost 14-11. Me and my brother, we were like, you know what? We're going to go practice right after that. So I went and I checked out my brother at Majestic Lanes. I went and go check out my other boy who you're going to hear from very shortly. But, it's when you get those outcomes, or you get the undesirable outcomes that we might not want, what are you going to do to change that? What are you going to do to make sure that that doesn't happen again? And, I'm just in the point now where, anything that doesn't exactly go my way, I want to do the best of my abilities to make sure that doesn't happen again. And if that means practicing after already going to league, then that's what you got to do. And then to come from there to where I golfed today and had the best golf outing or golf round of the year. And I wound up shooting like a 76, and I've never broke 80 before, ever in my life. So, again, to dispel or to put aside something that just happened yesterday, to where we didn't have the win that we wanted, but then to come out there and not let that affect. I feel like a lot of times people take the negative energy of those bad experiences from the day prior, and then it allows us to, bleed into the next day. And now we're coming into the next day out of rhythm. But the whole point is, if you can able to take those bad things or take things that happen that may not have went your way, just cast them to the side and just keep pushing. There's no telling what you can do, man. And to say that, like I said, I had my best round of golf today to end the year. It was amazing. And then to find out, my boy was actually going to come here on the show and share a little bit of his time. I mean, it was a huge seal for me to say, hey, on the last day of the year, I want to give you guys someone that's become one of my really good friends, and just give you guys a little bit more as far as who I am as a person by giving you guys a little bit of in-depth as far as who I hang around with. Because they say if you want to see who someone is, check the people that they hang around them. So without further ado, for the last guest of 2021, I want us to all give a big round of applause for my boy, Lenny G. Let's see if we can push him back for Lenny here. What's going on, Lenny G?
What's good, Barry?
Yo, I tell you what, man. This guy came different. He coming out here with the Yankee pink brim. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Came out with the pink brim. Lenny, for those people that don't know who you are, just who is Lenny G, man?
Just a father, a son, and just a good friend, a good all around dude. I try to be, at least, and and I try to bowl every now and then. So,
well, I'll tell you guys how I met this guy. It was I think it was last year, and we were bowling, and there's this thing called handicap where if you have a certain average, you get a certain amount of sticks. And I remember me and my brother were coming into the match, and I'm like, yo, we got this guy Lenny we're bowling against. He's getting like 70 sticks. We might be able to get him, man. Maybe he's not that great. This guy came in, kicked our dicks in, man. He killed us, annihilated us. And from there, we kind of forged a really good friendship, man. So, for those people out there that don't know, how did you start to get into bowling, and how have you gotten yourself to where, you're bowling as much as you are now?
I started out actually when I was 4 years old, bowling with my dad in a adult child league over in Edison, and bowled up until I was about 18, then lost my father and kind of just stopped there. Kind of put it on hold, figured out what I was doing in life, trying to get my career situated, and then finally back on my feet, 16 years later, decided to, hey, let me pick up the bowling ball again, do what I love to do for my dad and for myself, honestly.
Yeah, man, and what I've seen from you is such a competitive nature, man. I mean, we're guys that if we're missing that shot, we're beating ourselves up, man. But kind of talk about the point earlier, like I said, about kind of taking those negative things and those negative thoughts, experiences, and just casting them to the side. How are you able to get over if you miss a shot to then go out there and try and make the next one, Lenny?
I basically go through what my dad has always taught me. Just throw your next shot. Always try to close out frames and just throw your best shot that you can. And honestly, if you miss it, you learn from that. Like you said, you pick up. You go to practice after a league. You go to practice on Sunday nights, on Monday mornings, whenever you got time. And you just try to better yourself.
Facts. And I think that part of that competitive nature that we have also stems from, just the experience of winning and just how good that feels, man. And, what I've seen from you has just been a tremendous improvement since that 70-something stick, time where it was last year. So, for people out there that may not have went out to go bowling or may not have went, what can you tell them, to the people out there, as to why they should pick up a bowling ball and go out there and roll it?
Hey, it's fun, it's exercise, and especially if you have some good people around with you, bowling with you, you're guaranteed to have a good time.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you something. Lenny's become one of my really good friends since meeting him in the bowling alley, and I look forward to those times where afterwards, after league, we'll go and we'll have a drink, and he comes and hangs out with my father, and it means a lot to me, man, because I feel like oftentimes, we were talking about this before, about how sometimes people can be very sometimey, right? They'll be laughing at you, smiling in your face one week, and then the next week they don't know who you are, So, I think it's just so important, the genuine friendship that we've kind of evolved from. So, where does that come from for you to, just have those and to build those genuine friendships that last,
Well, you got to have a natural balance, First of all, obviously balance, business and friendship, but you got to also understand the fact that friends, it's hard to come across a good friend.
Facts.
And when you do find somebody that is a good guy, has good family around them, especially, you notice that, it's easy to coexist with other people when they're good people.
Hell yeah, Lenny. And one of the things that I, admire about you is just how much of a family man you are. When you go to the bowling alley, you see Lenny with his children, and just how excited they are to come watch him. So, I know you talked before about, being a father, but just how much does a father mean to you, being a good father?
Well, being a good father means everything. Like I said, I lost my father when I was 18, so I only had 18 years with him, but the way that he raised me, plus me having 4 older sisters, I always had to look after them as I was growing up, and then after he passed, because I was the man of the house. So I always put that forward, that, being a father, doing what my father taught me was the right thing, because I believe that I became a good person and a good man myself. And then I had a stepfather also for the past 12 years, which was a decorated officer, a Marine, and he was just the next best thing that happened in my life. So I was lucky enough to have another father figure, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, man, and again, those influences, Lenny, are pretty much that makes us who we are as people, man. And I think that the strong backing that you have, and you just hearing you talk about your father, you can tell just how much he meant to you, and to then put that forth on your own children, to where you have such great relationships with them, it means all the world. We have Reese Smith, we have my boy Robin, we have fathers on this show as well too. So I'm sure that you speak for a lot of them out there and saying that you'd do anything for them. But I know, with us, we always say, we don't want to force it on our children or whatever, but, how much do you think that your children are going to bowl, and do you kind of, put the ball in their hands a little bit?
Well, I definitely did when they were younger, I definitely brought them to the bowling alley, every other weekend or so, tried to get them in the swing of things. I do have, 2 younger sons, one's 11, one's 9, and they definitely are getting the interest in bowling, so I am gonna pursue that with them too, at least.
Hey, take it from me and my dad. It's some of the best times going out there and competing with them, whether we're winning or losing. I enjoy and I cherish those times that we get to have, because not everybody gets to bowl with their father, or let alone win money with them. So it's something that I truly appreciate. But I know that bowling isn't the only things that we do. We're huge baseball fans. We already talked about how you got the Yankee pink brim on. How exactly did you become a Yankee fan, Lenny?
Growing up, born in Brooklyn, I always had the option, obviously, because in New York you got so many good baseball teams, and I just grew. I was more of a blue fan, a darker blue fan, and Brooklyn, the Bronx, it was right there, so I just picked up the blue and white stripes, It's never looked back.
Hey, well, let's put it this way. What better franchise to pick, right? Because I think, the Yankee, we always talk about a huge hat fan or whatever, but, the Yankee cap is one of the most popular across the entire world, I always like to talk about this because you'll always get a different answer from different Yankee fans, but I want to give me your top 2 favorite Yankees of all time. If you had to pick 2 Yankees, who are going to be your top 2 favorite Yankees?
I would have to say, in my era, watching growing up, it would be Mariano and Jeter.
Woo! The Sandman and the Captain. I tell you what, those two, who could you go better than that, right? Nobody's going to say Jason Giambi, obviously. But, Derek Jeter, obviously, I think the thing that kind of stands out is the fact that not only the fact he won so many championships, but people just, you don't really see leaders like that anymore, I feel like, in a way, Derek Jeter not only represented the Yankees, but any professional baseball player out there, man. So, to take away from that leadership, is there anyone that you've kind of gotten influences from, because of just how great of a leader they are?
Well, I would definitely say Jeter was one of them growing up. Watching him and then him being such a young guy with a whole bunch of, all-stars on the team also, and then growing into the position of the captain.
Yes.
He showed how he was a leader and how he would take games into his own hands if he had to. And, that was a lot.
Yeah, man. I think, for me, it's not, we can't really say that, David Wright was our captain as the Mets, but I feel like he didn't really have the same necessarily effect that like a Derek Jeter had, and I don't know why that is, but I know why. I don't want to say why, but when you win, you have a lot bigger effect, But
talk that talk.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but honestly, winning can cure a lot of things, man. But I tell you what, bro. I think that especially with this new baseball season coming up, hopefully they're able to get us out of the lockout because we do want to see Max Scherzer play in New York. Don't get me wrong, but do you see yourself going to see in some of these games in Yankee Stadium in this next coming year?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I tell you what. I do like the
Subway series.
Ooh, maybe we have to go check it out, man. Maybe I'll go to you go to Citi Field, I'll go to Yankee, right?
Sure.
But I know that you like I said, you're big into the Yankees. A huge fan of the bowling. But one of the things that I did overheard, is the fact that you are into the sports betting, right? So what are some things that you look for when you're going to make some of those sports bets?
I look for definitely weather. Takes an impact into games, especially over-unders.
Yeah, because that's that you're the first person that I've actually heard about that will go in and look at the weather. So can you explain a little bit why you look at that weather?
You got to figure if you're betting football, then they're most likely not going to be throwing the ball if it's very windy or if it's torrential downpouring. They're going to be running it more. So you can look at running backs, having bigger games. You can look at quarterbacks not throwing as many touchdowns. Or possibly tight ends coming up bigger.
Hey, well, I know that my boy Jeff, he's big as far as setting up his parlays. I know he likes to mix in different sports. When it comes to your parlays, do you like to stick with just one sport or do you like to mix it up a little bit?
I like to mix it up a little bit with baseball and football.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, baseball, to me, in my opinion, is one of the hardest sports to bet on because there's just so many variables that come into it. So what would you say is your hardest sport to bet on and why?
I guess it would be hockey because I don't know. I don't follow it very much. But, you could obviously go by record if you wanted to just go money line bets. It's, that's a little easier. But, going by goals scored and everything, that's, a little harder for me.
Hey, well, you know what? I know that my boy Jeff, he always is so hyped as far as, the different bets that he cashes in on, and he's like sending me screenshots or whatever, and it's fun, especially when you're winning. But it's tough, man. A lot of people figure, why couldn't I get this one? I know I was in Atlantic City and I missed a ticket by one Boston Celtics loss, and it's like, God damn it, you know what I'm saying? It's the worst feeling, but. The one thing that I will say is that, over this entire year, like I said, there's been a lot to be thankful for beyond just sports betting and bowling and everything like that. But, for you, I know I was looking back on, and I'll give my answer a little bit, but, what's been one of the things that you've just been so proud of, or was like one of your biggest accomplishments in this year?
This year would be probably growing into the role at my job.
Okay.
I've been with the company just about 3 years, and I finally got a promotion going up into a senior service tech level, where I believe I should be after being 12 years.
Hell yeah. And I think the key word was being where you knew you should have been, right? So, like, how was your mentality to, like, try and deliver in on that message that you gave yourself to say, hey, I'm going to put myself in this position to take this?
Yeah, I've been since I'm 18. I've been working since I'm 13 out there. But since I'm 18, I kind of set my goals in life on where I want to be at certain years. And, being 35 now, I wanted to be at a certain level, be with a company, and in a business for a certain amount of time, just so I could feel like I'm actually delivering on, my part of the deal with them. So.
Hey, and that's huge, man, because I think, for you, where you had this, visualization, they always talk about, speak it into existence, and you had this idea of where you should be, and then you accomplished that, and I'm sure that feeling is just so self-fulfilling. And I feel like at times with myself that, when I think back reflectively, at times I feel like I may not have been as far as where I think I should be, or I still have a lot more to go. But, I think the big thing as far as trying to dispel that to negativity and turn it into positive is the fact that you appreciate those little wins, or the little, steps in the right direction that you took to get to that spot and to get closer to that goal. So, I think that whether you've made your accomplishments or whether you're still trying to go out and, achieve those accomplishments, the big thing is just to keep grinding, man. I think that, one of the things that we always talk about, Lenny, is just how hard working we are. And I feel like, that hard work, bleeds into who we are as people. And then that's why we have these productive outcomes that we had, So, I think that, beyond just the goals that we've accomplished in this year, I would like to ask you, is there anything that you would like to accomplish in the next year? Like any big time goals that you have?
Oh yeah, I've never settled, especially, when it comes to money and everything like that. You got to hustle to make money. So
Yep.
I want to do bigger and better things every year coming. So there's definitely room for improvement, definitely.
Hell yeah. And I think that, like I said, I definitely want to, for this show at least, I want to try and get the online store popping for this. I said before I want to get a little bit more off-site locations where, maybe we'll have some interviews at like a bar or something like that as things start to open up. But, the main thing is just trying to stay on our toes, man, and, keep progressing in the right direction, bro. But, one of the things that we love when we're at the bowling alley is we love our drinks, Lenny. We love our drinks, And it's so funny because there's times that, and I feel so bad because, I'll get the shit kicked out of me in bowling, and I will be the first one out the door, man. My brother will be like, yo, you chill? I'm like, man, fuck this, I'm out of here, So I'm trying to get so much better with, like, if we take a loss, I'm going to chill out, I'm going to chill, and we'll have some fun. But like I said, one of the things that we do like to do is have our drinks. So, in ceremonial fashion on the show, we always like to do a beer review, Lenny. So, you think you're going to be able to help us out on this beer review?
Sure.
All right, so, real quick, I got a dope beer for you. For a lot of my friends that don't know, I might need the bottle opener for this one. This one is actually called the Mad Elf. For those beer, I know Jeffrey might know what this is. I know he's tuned in. This Mad Elf beer is a really, really good beer in my opinion. And Lenny, peep this. It has holiday ale brewed with cherries and honey. And this is a whopping 11% alcohol.
What?
11%.
Yes.
Lenny, are you going to be ready for this one, man?
Drink that drink.
Yes. So, yeah, this is a Mad Elf. We're going to share one here on the show, Lenny. But, like I said, for a special guy like yourself, I didn't want to bring you with a Coors Light or something like, not that there's anything wrong with that. We love domestic beers, but... that we definitely wanted to give you a little bit of holiday cheer with this Mad Elf. We got Timmy Hugel who says Lenny is walking home. We got we got Peter Dunn who says the Mad Elf. Ooh, yeah, the Mad Elf. So, in all, holidays fashion, I appreciate you, Lenny, for coming here on the show and rocking out. And give the people your honest opinion on the Mad Elf here, all right?
Appreciate you, Barry. It's not bad at all.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty good there.
So this is the Mad Elf, man. Like I said, it's got some honey, it's got some cherries in it, 11% alcohol.
That's nice.
Now, when you taste it, I know the 11% can get a little overwhelming for some people. Do you think that's a little bit too much alcohol in there for it?
No, I think the honey and the cherry kind of mask it up a little bit.
Right? Mm-hmm. And not often do you see those types of, ingredients in a beer. You know what I'm saying? To get cherries and honey and mash them together. We got my boy Dave, who's from Pennsylvania. I'm sure you know about the Mad Elf, buddy. But this is actually from Trogs. If I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere in, I think, Central or North PA. Somebody can fact check me on the show. Near Hershey Park. So, yeah, man, this is good beer, good holiday beer for you guys out there that always want to try something out. This is a very seasonal beer, so you're not going to be able to, in July, get this Mad Elf. So, when you're trying to get this, it's usually around, like, the holiday time. Make sure you get yourself a couple 6-packs of this because, like I said, me and Lenny will tell you, this shit is fire, man.
Yeah, Tim, stock up, buddy.
That's a joke, guys, because Tim doesn't drink, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we like to get a little jokes with him there. But once again, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Lenny G for coming on here and absolutely rocking the show. If there's anything or any type of advice that you'd want to give anybody out there listening into this show that could maybe help them out, Lenny, or help them, or which has helped you to be who you are, what advice would you give my viewers out there?
Work hard, stay true to yourself, stay true to others, because the truth will always kick you in the ass if you don't respect it.
Facts, man. Like we said, life's too short to be anything other than yourself, man. So as long as you're living and breathing, be the best version of yourself, and good things will follow, man. So
yes, sir.
Before we head off the show here, I want to give a shout out to my boy Timmy Hugel over at Ink Parlor. He gave us a nice butt whooping last week, but don't worry, Tim. I never forget anything. All right, I never forget anything. And also want to give a big shout out to my boy Joe Snow Maria over at New York Life. Also want to give a big time shout out to my boy Savion over at Skydye Socks. Always love talking to him and just staying creative with him as well too. Then also want to give a big time shout out to Jeff Galata over at Air We Are. We got Timmy Hugel on the Facebook Live. He gave the $5 symbol. Yes, Tim took my $5, but I'm going to get that shit back. All right, Tim? You took that little punk-ass $5. All right, I'll get it back. I'll get it back. But, I appreciate you so much, Lenny, for coming here on the show.
Appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah. You the man, dog.
Keep kicking, baby.
Yeah, and, we're going to have some drinks after the show, after we close up here. Like I said, as I have this show, I just want to keep having different people here on the show and giving different outsights as the different people that are out there. I think that at times people might have a perception of who you hang out with and don't know, just a half of the battle of the people that you hang out with. And, Lenny, you've been somebody that treated me with respect since day one. We've had many conversations about bowling, not about bowling, supporting each other. And, I truly value your friendship, brother. And, it's been forged through this year. And, we're going to keep building it and keep doing things to the next year, man, and beyond, man. So, once again, I want to thank you, Lenny G, for being a great friend, coming here on the show and rocking out. And, guys, you never know who's going to come on the show, so just make sure you're tuned in every Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You know the vibes. We're out here on TalkThatTalkShow.com, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You name it, we're on it, man. Shout out to Ishabad Crane, who's over here watching live from the show. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to my brother as well. Guys, I have the support of many great people, and without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I thank you guys once again. We got Terrence Brown who says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Terrence. We'll see you on Tuesday. And I'm going to get my $5 back, Tim. You watch. I got something for you, all right? Love you guys. And yo, remember, stay true to yourself. And big time shout out to Lenny G for coming out here on the show. Happy New Year, and I love you all. See you next week.